Hey everybody, welcome to College Hacked. I'm Dr. Clifford Stemme, CEO and founder. This is Dr. Lauren Daly. What is your title?
The one you made up for me,
Yes.
which you use most of the time, is Chief Academic Advisor.
Chief Academic Advisor and Chief Academic Officer now.
We work here.
We both work here. We want to answer your questions that you've been leaving on videos in comments. We're also going to give away a consultation today at some point in this video. And we've noticed that in our past Q&As, we tend to really fixate on a comment here and there.
He thinks I talk too much.
Oh, it's not just you, trust me. And we'll just take forever to answer this one comment really thoroughly, and then we get to the end, we're like, oh wow, we've answered 10 comments. So we're gonna try something different. Tell us if you like it, if you want us to do this or to go do it the other way. We're gonna try to speed answer comments so we can do as many as possible. I think we have 30 comments lined up we could get through today, which would be a minute per comment.
Yeah.
And if you don't like this, tell us and we will never do it again.
You can always reduce the speed of the video.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk fast necessarily.
We're not? That's the whole point, I thought.
Well, we're just going to say less. We're just going to answer directly.
Yeah, I'll try.
Instead of getting on philosophical tangents.
But there's so many good ones.
I know, there are. Okay, well, we can make exceptions.
Okay, I'm going to try.
We're not even sure this is going to be possible. We're just going to try. That is all.
We're breaking ground.
The Creation Boy has our first speed question.
Okay.
With a giant comment. We're already off to a bad start. These types of videos are a great source of information for non-standard students. However, I think it would be interesting if you could make a video pushing back against the anti-college sentiment that has become popular in recent years, especially online pushed by different influencers. They especially seem to criticize non-STEM college degrees, which is sad because I got 2 English degrees, as being a waste of time, and even pushing people to drop out and pursue careers in trades instead, considering opportunity costs and average salaries. I think they may be causing harm to younger people, especially by convincing them that going to college in general is a scam, so offering some more pushback against that narrative could be helpful. Totally agree. That could be a great video. Thoughts? Go.
Totally agree. I also wrote an article for this that we posted on LinkedIn, so you can check out more about that there.
Yes, find Lauren's LinkedIn. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. I think that college is sometimes a scam, and I think that sometimes this trade stuff and STEM stuff is not right for some people. We've learned AI can replace programmers, but if you've read a book written by an AI person, it's not good. It's not well written. We're going to replace STEM stuff a whole lot sooner than we're going to replace non-STEM people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your ability to interact with others and influence other people and network and connect with people is going to matter more than anything. If you use a bachelor's degree to get where you're going, if you use trade school to get where you're going, all great. Just backwards plan. That's the whole thing.
If that was your short answer, we're in trouble.
It's deny.
It's done, yeah.
It's done, yeah. So sorry. UMPI grad here. I still watch your videos. I tell everyone I know about your channel. Starting my MBA program this summer at University of Texas at Dallas. That's
Yay!
awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're glad we could be part of that. Kyle KL plays games. I'd love to see more love for the graduate level and higher degrees from this channel. For example, things like how portfolio submissions work and how they compare between different universities. Duly noted. We're actually working on a best graduate school video right now.
Yeah, right now.
That'll hopefully, actually, by the time this video comes out, it might already be out.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
Andrew, though, 1003. Hey, y'all, I really love the video. Wondering if y'all ever do a video on UMGC, University of Maryland Global Campus. They have some pretty interesting programs to study, particularly the one that stood out to me was their BS in Homeland Security degree program. And the reason for that is because they really do focus on military students. That's a big part of their pipeline. Because I haven't seen a lot of online universities have these types of niche specialized degrees, which I wish more online universities had, especially for someone who has a background in a niche specific program like Homeland Security. Yeah, I mean, we need to talk about UMGC for sure. Didn't you just do a plan for a client with UMGC?
I just did my first one, yeah. Just by happenstance, just the first time somebody's wanted one, but it worked out really good. Got down to 10 classes at the school.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, so we had a high score.
I loved it, yeah.
There. Jonathan Zitzman 4182. I watch all your videos, and I don't think I've seen anyone ask this question. South College, private for-profit, I know, offers a competency-based DBA and EDD. Would love to hear your thoughts on those programs.
Yeah, we've looked at South College briefly, and it looks like a really good school. It's super cool that they have a competency-based DBA. We would love to look more into it. That is a really small slice of the pie, so we probably won't do a whole video on doctoral programs anytime soon, but But yeah, go ahead. What'd you find?
South College. I don't think I've personally heard
I
of them.
texted you about
Oh, you
it,
did?
and
You
then
did
we
tell
did
me
a little
about them?
exchange in text,
Oh, okay.
and you looked it up, and you were like, "Oh, it looks pretty good."
I have a lot of people telling me to go check out different colleges.
Yes,
so
we do.
We're just going to go with what Lauren said. MG Town Universe. TOE Universe. I see computer science being offered at UMPI. Can it be accelerated? If you're seeing computer science at UMPI, it's not part of their Your Pace program, which is the accelerated version. It might be a residential class, or I think they even have some non-Your Pace, just regular standard online degrees, which we don't even bother with. Maria Dolgod Vorova, 7384. Which school is more reputable, SNHU or Thomas Edison? Thank you.
Reputable could either mean higher quality or it could mean the name is more well known. I would say there are a few schools who have more well knownness than SNHU just because of their commercials. They do a lot of advertising. Thomas Edison, not so much.
Very little, yeah.
Yeah.
Comparatively. And they have a much smaller budget. They're a much smaller school.
But they're probably higher quality, honestly, than the SNHU classes.
Ooh, they really could be.
Just because the SNHU is so big, I think with that size, you inevitably have some degradation of course content because now you're just catering to such a wide variety of,
Sure.
you know.
It's really hard to maintain your standards when you have like almost 100,000 students.
Yes.
Thomas Edison also has 12-week-long classes, whereas SNHU has 8.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier to get a little bit more learning done at Thomas Edison. At the same time, like I talk about a lot, there's the really fancy schools with a huge reputation like Harvard, Ivy Leagues, Duke, University of Michigan. Everybody loves those. Everybody has heard of them and thinks, oh, you went there? That's so cool. There's really crappy schools like University of Phoenix, a lot of for-profits, a lot of nationally accredited, bad accredited schools. And everybody's like, oh, those suck. And then there's all the schools in the middle. Both of these schools are in the middle. You're not really going to see any kind of a difference.
Yeah.
John P7883. Great video. Thank you. I found out Liberty University Online will accept 90 of my previous credits toward a BS in interdisciplinary studies, which is...
We've heard of that before.
Yeah. We ran that program
Yeah, we did.
into the ground.
Nah!
No, we
Exploded it.
we took it from like 2,000 students, 2,300 to like 3,500.
Yeah,
But there were
at
even
least.
times where we had like 5,000 students in it, but just like as the average enrollment.
Largest major on campus, and we were done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was initially very excited, but I'm not sure if I should commit to LUO because of recent negative press regarding the $14 million fines and that Hulu documentary regarding the former college president. I'm so glad you picked this. Do I need to worry about LUO losing accreditation for this type of stuff, or am I overthinking this? I think we both have a lot to say
We
about
do.
this one.
Yes.
This might be one of the ones where we slow down a little
We
bit.
fail a little bit.
They're not going to lose accreditation because of this stuff.
No.
That would be absolutely wild if they did.
New president.
Not going to happen. They have a completely new president. They've moved past the old stuff. Yeah, I don't think you're overthinking this. I think you're asking good questions.
Yes.
But I think you're going to be just fine. They were super politically involved from like 2016 through the time that the old president got the boot, and that I think hurt their reputation a little bit. But Twitter has a short memory, and I think now Liberty University is just Liberty University Online. We're not really worried about old Falwell anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I always encourage people to think about whether the drama that a school is going through would affect your experience at the school. And given that this Title IX stuff happened to residential female students, it's probably outside of your demographic. So it's not something you have to worry about. Is it right that they did it? No. Are they being punished? Yes. And that's a good thing. They're revising their behavior.
Yeah.
They're changing things accordingly. So not happy it happened, but it doesn't spread to every facet of the school. So
Yeah. And lots of schools do get in trouble for stuff like this
Yeah.
or for other things and have to fix it and have to pay the consequences. Like this is a big price tag, and people like to name drop Liberty a bunch because we get a lot of clicks online because they are, one of the world's largest Christian universities, and because of their past history, because anybody can write an article about Liberty and have the first 10% be about what the thing is about, and then they can spend the next 90% getting people to stay on their website by reading about all the sordid, crazy stuff that happened in the past. But yeah, really shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
At all. Line protocol. I got questions. Hear me out. Now, this is a big comment, so we might have to answer this as we go. I enrolled at SNHU when I shouldn't have. My starting date should be May 6th. According to my own credit mapping, I should be able to transfer about 87 credits with Sophia. Does that seem reasonable? 87 credits with Sophia into an SNHU degree?
no, it really doesn't.
That, I think, is pretty impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even have a concentration.
We're off to a rough
A
start.
BA with the MIS. Yeah, so I would definitely check your mapping on that. I spoke to the counselor and told him I might delay the start date until July. They said I could stay at the May 6th date window and submit or transfer any credits while studying with them. That's true. Should I believe them that I will be able to transfer credits? Yes. They claim that they're not sure that the current curriculum and transfer credits will be available for the next starting dates, and that is a good point.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that briefly?
Yes. So he's right. And this is actually a great point to bring up because you never know when things are going to change at a school. We can't guarantee it. We didn't invent hacking and we don't control it in any way. All we're doing is translating it for you. So you're always going to be taking a risk when you do this. But that's a risk that's inherent and that's kind of a known thing. And hopefully if you didn't know that, you know that now. We're all just hoping that it's still going to be true once you're done hacking, that those credits still transfer into the school. But the schools don't tend to change that stuff on the fly. So that's something that we've seen stay relatively stable, except for maybe select classes here and there that are changed.
Yeah, and they might change whether they accept CLEP or Sophia, GPAs. They can change a lot of things. They could say, oh, we're changing this whole degree to a different degree. Like Liberty did that with their business. We used to be able to hack more of a Liberty business degree.
Way more.
And now it's way less, significantly less, not way less, because they changed specific classes. Usually these changes happen around the beginning of the fall. So if you're making a plan in summer and plan to enroll, and you're making the plan in summer before the proposed changes are made live or, we're alerted to them, you're going to want to stay pretty limber until those changes are made. So, you might say, all right, I'm going to take some of the really obvious Sophia classes. I'm going to take a couple of, maybe I'll focus on CLEP tests instead because they're more likely to have that staying power. After the changes are made, then you can go and adapt your plan slightly. I think still generally we have a 95% plus accuracy rate on the plans that we build.
Definitely.
We usually tell clients that, things do change. So, let's trust this 95% of the way. Maybe the average client and average college hacker in general has to change like maybe one class, maybe two if they get really unlucky around that time of year.
Yeah, there's some little things you can do to kind of guarantee yourself a better return also. Like you could start at the school and take one class or enroll in classes if it's a school that allows that and then allows you to still hack. And then you've married yourself to that degree plan. So now the degree plan doesn't update, you're grandfathered into that plan and the policies that were true at that time. So if something changes, you're already in the school and established. So you can tell the school this was true when I entered and generally they're going to honor that.
Yeah, that's a really good point because they'll keep you on that curriculum year that you joined.
Right.
So should I do a marathon run on Sophia? It's not a bad idea, even without this problem.
If you have the ability to, it seems like, just do
why
it.
not? Or should I try to push the date to take it more easy? You really don't know what SNHU is going to bring in the next year. So I would they're probably not going to change it by July. They'll probably change it with whatever their August start date is.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, you got to take the risk here.
And also you can take Sophia classes while you're at SNHU or after you're in classes with them. You don't have to do everything before you start. That's only WGU.
Yeah. You could just do like one class at a time. You could just do like one class in May. I don't think they have like a part-time cost, right? Like they're just a straight tuition rate. Yeah. So you could just do one class just to kind of claim this catalog year when things are the way they are. Yeah. That might be your safest strategy. Of course, you could, we're in Vegas. You could gamble it all and just go for it.
There you go. Bet big.
Is there even a valid reason to push the start date? Are there online colleges for this degree? BA MIS.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what degree that is.
Management Information Systems.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. There's lots of other great schools. If you check out the 7 best online colleges video that we put up recently, there's a lot of really great options there. Oh, this person really likes the SNHU admissions team. Says they are phenomenal.
Yeah, that was interesting. But they were also willing to sign up right away. So that's the other. They didn't fight them at all.
Yeah, unlike us when we call SNHU up and we're like, hey, we're trying to help somebody who's thinking about going to SNHU, and SNHU is like, well, if they give us some money, we'll answer your questions.
Where's the money?
Like, okay. Come on, guy. They're not going to sign up if you don't answer the questions. Yes. Game Brady 7533. Which university requires the least amount of research papers and PowerPoint presentations? WGU, yeah.
They're all proctored finals. You don't have.
I think it's mostly. Are there any non-proctored finals?
I didn't think so. That was my understanding. Is they were all proctored. But
I'm not familiar with the answer to that, but WGU might be the best. I can't speak to PowerPoint presentations.
That's because UMPI does those all the time. They're always like, give me a 20 slide deck covering this and narrate it for me. That's like their standard thing. So that's I think where this came from.
I love it. Yeah, just if you're trading research papers and PowerPoints in, you're trading them for proctored exams. Just keep that in mind. Troy H 1025. I'm nearing the completion of my undergraduate studies in sociology at
UAGC.
Yeah. What does it stand for? University of Arizona Global Campus.
Oh.
Okay. And I'm exploring options for online master's degree programs in social work or mental health counseling. I'm specifically looking for programs that offer asynchronous learning. Do you have any recommendations or suggestions for reputable programs that cater to students transitioning from undergraduate studies? Your insights would be greatly appreciated. I'll just briefly say we're going to put out a video, or already have put out a video about this very question very soon. So if you go to our videos and search for best graduate schools or best master's programs, you'll find it. And if not, subscribe and it'll pop up soon.
Perfect.
Yeah. Little status update. on our experiment here. We've got like 2.5 pages of questions left. I think we can do this, guys. She resells seashells.
Ooh.
That's cool. How long are credits, particularly Sophia, good for? My son is 14 and I don't want his credits to expire. Thank you.
Oh, the general rule of thumb is 5 years. A lot of schools will take them longer than that, but that's kind of like that's the lowest I see. So that's what I try to go by.
Yeah, and it also kind of depends on the school too.
Yeah.
So Liberty University, I think, tends to take things longer. State school probably take them shorter.
It also depends on the source of the credit. So if they're regionally accredited from like an actual community college or something, then they last longer than platforms like Sophia and stuff.
There you go. Soto157 Dude, what is the best way to get a bachelor's as a way to set yourself up for graduates programs in the psychology mental health field while also not having your bachelor's degree be worthless?
I think this is a knock on psychology degrees and all the jokes that people make about them being a worthless undergraduate major.
So how do we get a good degree that also prepares me for a master's in psychology, basically?
Don't major
Or
in
a master's
psychology. You can major in just about anything and still go to psychology. In fact, I say this often, probably too often, but if you look up Liberty University's LPC, licensed professional counselor, or LMFT, licensed marriage and family therapist programs, you can get into those with any bachelor's degree with a 2.75, nationally or regionally accredited. So there are, right now, we're struggling very much for mental health professionals, and that means that the standards for getting into a grad program are lower. The licensure grad program is not lower in standards, though it can't be hacked or anything like that. So getting into it is one thing, finishing it is another. So you do want to be prepared to go into a rigorous grad program, but you don't need any specific major. So
yeah, but still not a bad idea to take some psychology classes, get a psychology bachelor's degree. There is nothing wrong with a psychology bachelor's degree.
There really isn't. Mine
I
was
would not
half
worry
psych,
about
so.
what people are saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you're from the hard science side of things. I'm from the humanities side of things. So we both are like, ugh, psychology.
My undergrad was half psych, so.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, because I did interdis, and I did biology and psychology.
I did not realize that. Okay. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And any snootiness against psychology is completely unfounded, whether we're saying it or anybody else.
That's right. It's mostly just joking.
Yeah, we have to pick on somebody, right?
Yes.
User QE7XI4WP1Z. You need a new username. 11% graduation rate at APU is insane. American Public University System. Took a break from my Sophia statistics milestone to comment. Good job on you working on your Sophia stats milestone. That's awesome. And yeah, using those statistics skills you just earned, you've made a very excellent point.
Astute observation.
Yeah. Don't go to APU, guys. 11% graduation rate says everything you need to know. 1 in 9 students graduate. Ugh. Why? Like, would you go down to the casino? Like, we could drive 10 miles here to a casino on the Las Vegas Strip from my studio, and we would have way better odds. Way better odds.
Way better. I win at craps all the time.
Yeah. BenG72, does hacking your degree like this affect your chance of getting into a AACSB accredited MBA program? I've heard mixed reviews on whether it will or not. I think this is a good question for you.
Oh, you have a more stringent answer on this than I do.
Okay.
Which is what I think of. But I don't think so. I've never seen this be a thing unless the program specifically tells you on the admissions page that they really want it to be AACSB. Yeah. But that's like the Harvard and Yale version of business accreditation, which is very, very much not asked for. Like the ACBSB is the more popular one, and that's the practitioner's business accreditation. So yeah, I just don't see this playing into most people's lives.
There you go. Chris Channel 942. Which school is best for accepting 100 plus transfer credits with a low tuition and high grad rate? Franklin University, Excelsior, or Charter Oaks, and low residency requirements? Honestly, I'd probably choose Charter Oak these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Franklin is still requiring 90 credits or roughly there, like 75%-ish. I think it might be 76.
They might have meant Thomas Edison in place of Franklin.
It could be. In which case, Thomas Edison starts to become a lot kind of tied with Charter Oak. But if you're transferring that many credits, I really like Charter Oak. They have such a high graduation rate.
Nice.
They're super friendly. They're a small school, but they don't have kind of that, like they have better customer service than Thomas Edison.
Do they have a residency waiver fee type thing?
They do not.
Okay,
no. Like it's actually built in. Thomas Edison, if you want to transfer in 100 plus, you got to pay like 3,500 something.
553. Damn, I used to know the number by heart. I forget it now because nobody ever wants to do it.
Yeah, and Charter Oak isn't going to treat you like that. In fact, Charter Oak's tuition rate is $1 less than SNHU.
On purpose.
And if I think I said in a video, if you think that's on accident, you are wrong.
I love that.
Ali Byro 2521. Good hackable college for early childhood education. I have been in the field 10 years almost, but need my degree to move up, and I'm a busy mom with kids, so I'm trying to do it cheap and fully online. Lol. I have been looking with no luck, so I thought I would ask.
Sometimes you need early childhood and sometimes you don't. It depends on your state. So really the reason that I wanted to talk about this one is because, first of all, check if you have to have that. But then sometimes you really do. And the one that I know of that is still hackable is Liberty. It's actually the only one I know of that's specifically early childhood.
Okay, there you go. And if you can put in 20 hours a week, you can take 2 classes at a time in all likelihood. 20 hours a week is like 3 hours a day, or 2 hours on weekdays, 5 hours on weekends, and you can make it happen for sure. I would also recommend checking out the interview that we did with another Allie, who is a mom who was working in oil and gas, had a hard time, having the time for everything and kind of the instability of her career, and wanted to get a degree. She got it while watching her kid, and she's doing great. Marty as Inha 568. You selected this comment. I don't fully understand it. What is the?
What would be a good finance degree for an Indian person, and what is the college that it is at?
Oh,
that's how I translated this.
Okay, finance degree for Indian and college.
Not specifically because of the Indian descent, but because the college caters to international students and has finance. Thomas Edison.
Okay, Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Thomas Edison is a good one for you to look into. Pete Spyak 9627. Does every UMPI or PACE degree require you to do some field experience?
No.
Nope.
There's only certain ones.
Yeah. And it's just probably 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, it's like
very
psychology,
little.
criminal justice, and it's escaping me.
Carl Strauss 2330. Are you two married or just business partners or both?
I get these questions a lot in sessions, and so I thought it was a good one to include. We are not married. Cliff is married to someone.
I am married, and I've got 2 little kiddos.
Yes.
My wife's name is April.
She's amazing.
And my kids are Annika and Elliot.
Very cute.
And they're great. And we started working together at Liberty University back in 2016-ish.
I just graduated my master's, so 2016.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to make a video soon kind of talking about how College Hack came to be, so you guys kind of know the background story. But yeah, and now we're just really good friends, and Lauren was kind enough to come and be the chief academic advisor / officer.
Cliff was kind enough to hire me.
For College Hacked.
And here we are to this day.
Now we get to go
Legend
do cool stuff
says we're
together,
here
yeah. We've got just a few more comments, and according to my timekeeping device, we have 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So we've got to fly through these, especially because they're huge comments.
They are huge comments. They're so good, though.
These are all questions from our Purdue video. Simply Hal 24. College Hack, can you do a video on which schools offer the easiest pathway to a bachelor's degree for those people who struggle with math? We totally could, but I don't think you need us to. Most of these schools just require 1 math class.
1 math. You could do it on Sophia for most of the ones we talk about.
Yeah. Do it at your own pace. No
Open
pressure,
book,
no
open
sweat.
notes. Yeah.
And a lot of the schools that we talk about in our 7 best online colleges require 1 math. Wanderlust 2053. How can you get a letter of recommendation when you have not worked or been to college for a while? Ooh, this career coaching, this is all you.
Yeah, this is a good question. I'll try to keep it fast. So this happens to me a lot. I have been teaching for a number of years now, and I have students from years ago who will still reach out to me. They took 1 online class that I taught them for, many years ago, and now they're emailing me hey, remember me from 4 years ago? And not like I've taught thousands of students since then. And they're like, can you write me a rec letter? And so what I recommend people do in this situation is send that email, but also send your current resume, send a synopsis of what you've been doing since then, send a reminder of your interaction with that professor in the class, give that person enough to be able to write a rec letter for you, or even better, write your own rec letter from that person's perspective, send them that letter and say, feel free to use this if you want and change it to be true for you, or feel free to disregard it. But that way you don't give them a project that they now have to take time out of their day for and try to create this letter for you. Now they're irritated, they're writing a letter while they're irritated. So take that work out of it for them, and then you can highlight all the things you really hope that they say about you, and you both get a really good deal out of it.
Yeah, and if any of my students are watching and want to request this, keep the email short. I don't want 5 paragraphs about what you've been up to. Give me a few sentences so I can make a decision. Yeah, I want bullet points. I want the TLDR at the bottom, all that good stuff. Purdue is regionally accredited, Rabbi Jesus.
Yes.
Becca Stone 101. I love the question of, does the name of the university matter in the workforce? I cannot speak for all, but I believe absolutely not, which is why I'm here and working on a college hackable degree. Good for you. I work in corporate office of Daimler, Mercedes-Benz Freightliner, who has tons of employees with the most prestigious fancy degrees and certifications, and they still hire people of online degrees. I don't even have a bachelor's and beat my competitors in my new role that had prestigious degrees and certifications. It still boils down to experience, engagement, your charismatic personality, mastering STAR method interviews. Yep, STAR situation, situation, task, action, result. It's a way to answer interview questions. Are your best selling points as long as you have the qualifications. I also worked in HR before and have been on those interview panels and witnessed them firsthand. And Lauren, your response was perfect.
Thanks, Becca.
That is cool. Yeah, like we
Just
say
good
all the time.
confirmation from someone who's actually in the field validating what we usually tell you. Because sometimes it feels like we're just telling you things and you're just trusting us. So it's always nice to see someone who's in the field say, yes, you're right about that.
The degree doesn't make you. You make the degree.
Yes.
And even without the degree, you can still make money. You make you? Yeah.
It could still make you.
Brandon Stews 238 just joined UMPI, going through enrollment right now. Still completing Sophia courses. Can I transfer the credits before the semester starts in May?
Yes.
Yes. Hello 5. Any thoughts on grad psych programs at SNHU or UAGC? Well, SNHU, Southern New Hampshire University, accepts Sophia for foundational courses.
Yes.
But not in the... Oh, okay. Foundational courses are like the admissions requirement. Like we want to see these foundational courses before you apply to our graduate program.
I just assumed they meant general education.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you will not be able to get Sophia into any graduate level courses. Would a psych doctorate at UAGC be respected at all? Thank you for all you do. The University of Arizona Global Campus. It depends on who you ask, right?
Yes, and what the degree is for. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to go into research or are you trying to be a practitioner? Because if you're trying to be a practitioner, there is a spot for you. But if you're trying to be a researcher, then the school that you go to and the work that you do in your dissertation stuff is going to be a lot more important.
Yeah. All right, we're almost done. We've got 3 left. Edward Adam Lyles 2242. I'm graduating from a non-credited Bible college, at least the evening part. Would Liberty even consider any classes I've taken like biblical worldview?
Do you know the answer to this?
No, is there an answer? I thought there was a guess, but what's the answer?
There is an answer. So if you go to their external sources of credit page and what they accept, they actually have a whole list of unaccredited Bible colleges that they will accept classes from.
Whoa. Yeah, so go make sure your school is on that list. And if it is,
Indeed.
you have just
Hit the jackpot.
done alchemy.
Aren't they nice?
Basically. Talk with Alana 7489. Hi, Clifford. My friend is trying to get financial aid from UMPI, but he has a school that is closed down, but it's on his previous associate's degree transcript when it was active. Now they don't want to release the financial aid until he gets that transcript, even though it can't be used. They want it for some part of regulation that they started by phone. What can he do to get this problem solved? He tried to get through the Commission of Independent Education, and they still have not sent it. You are familiar with UMPI, so I would really appreciate your advice. Gosh, what can be done?
What he's rubbing up against is this law where the government wants to track where people have used financial aid, and so they want original transcripts from all the schools that you've previously gone to. Even if the school itself is not using those to get you accepted to the school, they're doing it because the government requires it, or else they lose financial aid and you can't use that money at their school anymore. So what they're supposed to do is just make a reasonable effort, and then at that point, if the school is closed and there's nothing that anyone can really do, they should let him into the school, but they have to do their due diligence part of it first. So that's what's happening.
If it's not apparent, Lauren is the smart one. For sure. My background was in hacking college, and her background was actually in advising college. And so she has a history of solving problems like this that I just had no clue about. So, hey, we made it to the last one. We're only a little bit over time.
Yes.
Gerald 3685. My son started Western Oregon University last fall. The recruiting team and the advisors promised him all kinds of scholarship and grant money. When the term was coming to a close around Christmas, all those promises fell through the floor. He moved back home owing $8,000. He has a job and is working on paying that off. The problem he's having is he wants to be a psychologist. That's a very specific and narrow field. How hackable is it?
Extremely hackable. Woo! That's the great news here.
Yeah.
So really crappy situation, but the good news is we could definitely help, or you could watch our videos and help yourself. But there are definitely, UMPI has a great psychology degree that's hackable. Since he's trying to be a psychologist, he's going to need at least a master's degree, if not a PhD. So he's going to want to get through the undergrad probably as quick as he can with some good foundation and then get into a master's.
Yeah, and getting a bachelor's in psychology is pretty much a snap. We've got some schools we work with. He could be done in 12 months if he wanted to be.
Definitely.
Maybe even in fewer. Well, hey, that is another Q&A.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nailed
Great
it.
work. We're going to give away a consultation here.
Yes.
And what is our requirement this time?
Literary character?
Literary character?
Or book
or favorite movie?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite
That's it.
Bill Murray
You're
movie?
right. More people watch movies than read, so we should probably open up our favorite piece of art. It could be a book, a movie, any of the other art things.
A song.
Paintings.
Songs, pictures, paintings. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Let's say a piece of literature or movie or art of some sort that moved you, that speaks to you.
Perfect.
We're not talking like you went and watched What About Bob and you thought it was hilarious, or you saw the new Dune movie and you were like, whoa, big worms.
Timothy.
Yeah. We want something that like hit you right here, okay? Is there anything like that hit you right there?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. A lot. I can't think of any of them right now.
Okay.
So many meaningful pieces of art in my
I can't even think of any of them. If you pan the camera over that way, which it's just us, there's nobody managing the camera, so we can't pan it. But all the books over there's a bunch of meaningful ones for me. The Idiot by Dostoevsky was really powerful. I think The Power and the Glory by Graham Greene. And David Copperfield was pretty amazing too. Yeah.
Nice.
So there you go. But let us know the answer to that. And this is needs-based, right? So if you've got a bunch of money to spare and could afford a consultation, please don't enter. You can still tell us your favorite piece of art, but let us know why you need this, and we'll take that into consideration as we choose who to pick for this free consultation.
Yay.
So that's what we got. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hacking.